Okay, welcome to our video on numbered heads together. And we're going to look at a numbered heads together game from start to finish. So as you can see here, numbered heads together is in the Kagan structures section. And one quick tip again, you can favorite things to make them jump to the top of the section, or if you want to find something quickly, just start typing it and it'll pop up that way. So let's jump into numbered heads together. And the first thing you'll notice when you go into numbered heads together, it is looking for a question set. So you want to either select a question set, and here's the available question sets. Here's the search bar, how to find specific sets. So say, for example, we wanted to play something on vocabulary. And all my vocabulary options would pop up, and you have some filtering by question type, grade, subjects, and then you can sort your sets here. Let's go ahead and clear that. And we're going to create a brand new question set from the beginning, just to show you how this works. So question set. And the question set that we are going to be creating, space science for 5th grade, is I have some questions prepared for that. So I'm just going to say space science, and I'm just going to put right in the title, 5th grade. That's optional. It's just a note for myself. And these are questions about, and let's put some keywords in there. So if I'm looking for it or other teachers are looking for it, it would be helpful. So I'm going to say planets, the moon, uh, galaxy, etc. And then I'm going to say with images, and we're going to do images. All right, so the little asterisk here, you can see it says this is required information. So we got our title, we got our little description here. And then over here for the required search criteria, I have a choice of sharing it with the community and sharing it with, it's only for me and for private. Community, everybody will see it. Me, it'll only stay in my collection. Nobody else has access to them. So for this one, let's go ahead and make it community public. And I said they were 5th grade, so let's click elementary. And these are for space science, so the subject is science. And I have a choice here. So you see this little link right here, add the same image for the set. So some question sets you won't either have images for every question, or don't want to take the time to create an image for every question, or maybe you have a really good image that's fitting for the whole set. This is where you would do that. You just click on that there, and it says you can save an image for the set. You drop your image in here, or click on here and find your image in the browser. And that's how you set it for the entire set. But let's go ahead and not do that. We're going to create little custom images for this little set of questions that we have. So I'm going to click paste or import. And I have on my desktop a little collection of questions. So let me go ahead and pull those up. And all I'm doing, I have them in a Word file. I'm copying them, and then I'm coming over here in the paste box and just pasting them in. And so notice when you paste it in, it detects, oh, these are question and answers. It gives the little tag. And the way it knows that is it says, here's the question, and here's the answer. So if it was multiple choice, for example, and it was set up in the multiple choice format, they would detect them as multiple choice. These little instructions give a little bit more information about how to set up your questions to get them to import properly. And let me just show you a little tip if you have a problem here. So notice this question 1, it detected it as a question and answer because I have it properly formatted. What if I had my answer on the same line as the question? It's just defaulting to a short response because it doesn't think that's an answer. It just thinks it's part of the question. So I want to check these questions and make sure I got all 5 question and answers. That looks really good to me. So I'm going to hit accept. And there you go. So we could play this set just the way it is here, but I want to go a little bit farther and just show you what this looks like with images. All right. So this one here is on Saturn, and I have a little Saturn image on my desktop. So I'm just going to drag this over. There's a picture of Saturn, and you can crop the image here, but I'm happy with that. You don't have to crop them if you're happy with basically the image that you have. The images, lots of free and available images on the internet. Now with AI, you can generate images for pretty much anything, so you can create those pretty quickly and easily. Jupiter, I'm going to drop in Jupiter, apply the crop here. All right, click done to close that. This one, we're talking about an image of the full moon. So I'm going to drop in my full moon, apply the crop here. Happy with that. This one's an image of the solar eclipse. Drag and drop in there, apply. And the last one we have here is an image of the Milky Way. Apply crop. Again, images are completely optional, but if you have the time to do them, they provide great visuals for students. Most of us are visual learners. A lot of us are very visual, and having visuals is very helpful for learning the content. Okay, so we have these all set up here. I'm happy with the way this is all set up, and I am going to hit save. Actually, before I save it, let's take a quick preview. So I hit this little preview button here at the bottom. And I'm just going to flip through these to make sure I'm getting what I'm expecting. So there's an image with my question, image with my question, image. And notice down here it has the image, your question, and here's your answer. And yeah, that looks exactly as I expect. It looks perfect. And we're going to save this. And this little note is basically saying a little reminder that you have this set up for sharing with everybody. You sure you want to do that? And to verify that you're not including any inappropriate content, student information, or copyrighted content. So I'm happy with that. All right, so now your options are, your set is saved. Do we want to play it? Do we want to create a new question set? Do we want to see all the question sets or just get back to our question set by closing this? And I'm ready to play numbered heads together, and I'm going to click play. Right now, it gives you the structure options you can play this question set with, and I'm going to pick numbered heads together. And the last option is you can do it sequentially, so they would come up in question number 1, 2, 3, or random, just they would come up in random order. And because numbered heads together is set up kind of like a quiz show, we're going to use the random, which is kind of the default way for numbered heads together. So let's do random. All right, so when that pops up, you can see I had 5 questions, and I now have these 5 balls, and each one represents a different question. I could click on these questions myself to run through the questions, or I can use this little go button, and the go button will randomly pick the questions for me. There's a little animation, pick question number 5. Okay, so now we're in numbered heads together, the structure, and here's the title of the structure. And these are basically the steps of the structure and what we're going to help guide us as teachers through the structure and help us lead students through the structure. So the first step is think time. And this sidebar over here will have kind of instructions that you can share with the classroom. Sometimes it will have images kind of illustrating what they're supposed to do. So right now, all we're doing is think about your answer, no talking. So what is the name of the galaxy shown in the image that contains our solar system? So students are independently thinking. Next, I will hit this next button. All right, everybody, all students are going to write their own answer, no talking. So you can see the little image. Students are writing their answers on their own sheets of papers or answer boards. Next step, heads together. So now they're standing up within their teams, they're sharing their answers, they're making sure that everybody agrees on the answer. And when they all agree, we're going to have them sit down. Nice little visual management cue when everybody's seated or most students are seated. We know they're ready to move on. Next step, who answers? And for here we have the old classic student selector spinner. Each one of these rings corresponds to a different team size. So for teams of 4, it's this red ring. Teams of 3, this white one, and teams of 5, this one. So let's just go ahead and give out a spin. And so for teams of 4, student numbers 3s are going to answer. So I can have all my student 3s stand up with their answer. And next step, answer the question. And with numbered heads together, there's multiple ways you can have students share their answers. So you can have them just hold up their answers and take a look at that. We can call one quickly do a whip through one team at a time, or call one representative team. Somebody can put it up on or every selected team rep can quickly write it on the board. But this one just shows a quick students are sharing for their team. All right, and that was pretty much the run through of numbered heads together. So super easy because you don't have to remember anything about the structure. Just click the next button and it walks you and your students through it. And I want to now see, okay, well, did students get it right? And there's this little show answer button. And the answer is the Milky Way, and you can celebrate as a class. Next step. All right, well, that was randomly question number 5, and you can see question number 5 is now kicked out of our pool of questions, and we have 4 more questions available. And I'm going to hit go. And it's picking question number 1, new question. So you get a really good idea of how it works. It's just stepping you through your question set using numbered heads together. Numbered heads together is a classic Kagan cooperative learning structure. We've been training this one for years. Teachers have had tons and tons of success with this structure. It's really good for stuff like this, for content review, for quizzes and for tests. And that's why this one is set up as a kind of like a quiz show review. This is one of those structures that has really good research on it and has independently been shown to really boost student learning and achievement levels. So awesome structure and a fun way to walk through it using this quiz show format. So that is it. All I wanted to share on numbered heads together. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video.